All right, guys, it's Sonner of FOB Equestria. I fucked up the first interview, so you get this one for free. This is Peter New. He's going to be our final guest of the day. Peter New, you're drinking Blue Moon, right?
Right now I'm drinking Blue Moon, yeah. It's a Belgian white, and it's quite tasty.
And in addition to that, Peter needs to get a Big Mac drink because he's never had one. So I'm looking at you, APC. You might want to get on that. I know you've got cider back there, so send it up. In addition to that, how's the convention been so far?
This convention has been an absolute blast. It's been a real ball. I've had a great time.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
You just did a charity auction for Cheetos.
Yeah, we
for
did.
about $100.
Well, we did the charity auction on Friday night, and Andrew Francis had signed this little 1.5 ounce bag of baked Cheetos, and in order to try and get a bigger value on it, Lee signed it. But then Lee inadvertently signed it right on top of Andrew's signature.
Right.
And so then I deliberately signed it right on top of Lee's signature. So this is a mishmash of our 3 signatures, and these 5 guys pooled their money and bought this 1.5 ounce bag of Cheetos for $100, and the privilege of eating it with us. And so we just did this thing. We got everybody to film it and get the press in there, and we tried to eat this little bag of Cheetos in as many different ways as we could think of, and I think it was pretty entertaining. I had a good time doing that.
And then Andrew Francis would like to leave.
I love it. Hey, and it'd be awesome.
Anyways, have you ever done shots?
I have in my life, yes.
What's your favorite hard liquor?
My favorite hard liquor is a single malt Scotch.
Single malt Scotch?
I'm a Scotch drinker. I just bought this lovely Chateau Neuf de Pape cask, single malt, which I'm looking forward to a glass of when I get home tonight.
Nice. So, what have you heard about military bronies so far?
I haven't heard a whole lot about military bronies, to be honest, but I'm fascinated by the idea, and I'm curious to ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
About it. What do you feel like is the overlap between the desire to get into the military and bronies? Where's the overlap?
The overlap. Now, as for actually joining the military and like being a brony beforehand, I'm not too familiar with it because that's not how it worked for me.
Well, tell me how it worked for you.
How it worked for me is I was
brony first.
Yes.
Okay.
Or no, I was in the military first.
Yeah.
Marine first, then things second. So that's my first label. I take brony after I take Marine. So yeah, that's just the way we do things. I was all right, fine. You want to do that? Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You guys get this again.
I'm really curious.
So what happened was at one point before I went to Afghanistan, I saw the My Little Brony website and all that good stuff. I saw it on the internet, and I thought it was really funny. And I think my first exposure was actually the Dragon Shy episode when that tiny little yellow white pony took on that big dragon and made him cry. I just thought that was the most hilarious thing I ever saw, so I started watching some of the episodes after that. From then, I actually just put it away, and I didn't even think about it until about a couple months into my deployment. I wasn't doing that great, and I decided, in the middle of this little darkness, it was like the middle of the night, it was like 1:30 in the morning, I've been working my ass off for like at least 24 hours, and then I picked up my computer, I said, oh look, I still have all these Pony episodes downloaded, and I decided to open up just to see what would happen, because I know the colors, maybe something will cheer me up. It cheered me up like nothing has cheered me up, and I've been into it ever since. And it has just caused me to put as much individual effort as I can for it. Your question about what are the similarities?
Yeah, where's the overlap? Yeah.
To me personally, I can't speak for the military or anything else like that. But to me personally, I've always thought that some of the values that are espoused by the military are really just reflections in a different name. From sacrifice, you have we would call it sacrifice. Maybe the producer of the show would call it generosity. Integrity is a universal thing, so honesty and integrity, they kind of go hand in hand. Laughter is kind of a vague one, but to me, I would probably call that morale or esprit de corps. So it's all really kind of the same things. It's about being a decent human being first, and then being able to function a do your jobs and take your responsibilities to the next level. And it really imposes that individual effort. That's why I came here. That's why I'm doing this interview with you. That's why I asked you to do it in a bar, because I said, why do I need to do it in just some sort of a couch or anything like that? Why not just do it at a bar where everybody's more comfortable, more interpersonal, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for answering that question. And
That's
I
no
know
problem.
this is an interview, my interview. And
You're actually the third person that's done that.
really, it's fascinating to me because to me it just seems, and I think maybe to a lot of people it seems like, look, the military is about about violence and conflict, and the show is about peace and getting along. And so it's fascinating to me how and maybe that's just a misunderstanding of the military.
Well,
right?
it is. The violence and conflict is just what we have to do. It's just what we have to handle. So if there can be no violence done, then it's still a good thing. It was, I believe it was Sun Tzu who actually said, the greatest general is the one whose enemies come before him and lay down his sword.
Yeah.
The greatest general is not the one who fights every battle and wins, and his enemy refuses to ever relinquish to it.
I guess the misunderstanding comes that you don't hear that kind of rhetoric from politicians. You hear this sort of definitive "we will crush them" type of rhetoric most of the time. And
The politicians always have their own political agenda,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
serves a
I
purpose.
suppose,
When it comes, but the military can't be involved in the politics.
Right.
It's
So how about we talk more ponies then?
ponies. Okay, so
That was interesting though. Thank you for that.
that's no problem. I'll keep answering your questions as much as they go.
Yeah, right.
But so for Big Mac, he was a side character.
Yeah.
And I assume you didn't ever really think that it would turn into like this recurring character.
Well, I knew that there was the possibility he would come back, but I didn't ever, and I had even recorded a few before any of this happened.
Of course.
When I did the audition, I knew that they were thinking about using him again, and so it wasn't a huge surprise when that second or the third call came. And
Right.
But it was all done. I just did one day, one episode, and then a week went by, 2 weeks went by, and then I got another call, and okay. So I did know that it was going to be a thing that they were going to do. I didn't know how often.
It just occurred to me that we had a thread in the forum about who was the best male lead for the show. And it's true. We got you as the best male lead. I think only seconded by Spike.
Oh, yeah, and then you sort of have to, that's Kathy though.
Yeah.
So,
Well, the best male lead character.
Yeah.
But-
But Spike, I'm first over Spike?
Oh yeah.
That's actually surprising to me.
No, it seemed to be that.
Thank you.
It seemed to be that everybody really liked to associate with the whole the silent strength.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of something that we also have to reflect sometimes too.
Yeah.
We try to be humble. We don't try to actually go out and do crazy shit all the time.
Yeah.
But when we're around you, we try to be humble and strong at the same time.
Yeah, I like that aspect of the character for sure. Yeah.
That's all I can think of for any questions for you.
Really? Does anyone else have a question for me I can answer?
Does anyone have any questions for Peter?
I have an immediate one. Could you sign that real quick?
I'll sign this for you real quick. You can film me signing this thing.
That's
I also have a quick question. The hat. I mean, it's like it's become kind of an icon,
Yeah.
It fits well. It looks good. What's the background? Is it just something you picked up from the store someday?
Okay, the background on that. This is a brand new hat. I've only had it for about a week, but the background on the hat is I started losing my hair, and so I found that in the winter my head was cold, and in the summer my head was sunburned, and so I thought I better start wearing a hat, and so I do.
It makes it's good sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not a better story.
It's like the style. Like not every. I mean, different people. Some people would go baseball cap. Some people would go a pith helmet. We've seen that.
I haven't seen the pith helmet all that often.
Well, there was one today, but I think that may not have been.
Might have been a cosplay. Probably a daring do.
Tell.
Yeah. In terms of, I normally wear fedoras. This is my very first pork pie, and I'm sort of thrilled that it looks good.
It does look good. Yeah.
But I just go to the hat store and pop something on and try a few until I like one. And that's the one I buy. So.
Anyone else have any questions? We're all good?
Nothing that he hasn't answered.
No.
Any questions for me over here? You have a question?
When are you gonna
What's your favorite
start
beer?
drinking with us again here?
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna go start drinking with them now. Thank you guys very much for the interview, and thank you for the interview, and thank you for answering my questions.
It's no problem.
And you know, always email and find me on Facebook, find me on Twitter, and ask me questions, and I'll try to answer them as much as I possibly can.
And you need a Big Mac drink.
I need a Big Mac drink, apparently. But in the meantime, I'm happy with this.
Bye, Andrew Francis.
Bye, sir. I was pointing at you.
Thank you so much, man.
Spitting in my drink. This guy's back.
No. I hate it.
This is what it's been like all weekend. All right, have fun, guys.